kunja bihari. Gopi jana vallabha girivaradhari. Gopi jana vallabha girivaradhari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Yasodanandana Braja Janardana. Yasodanandana Braja Janardana. Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Yasodanandana Braja Janardana. Yasodanandana Braja Janardana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinata Radha Gopinata Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Shri Radhe. Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram. Jaya Gaura Nitai Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Please turn off your, or put into silent mode your cell phones. Oh, this you. We're gonna find you one big cake for everyone. Hold on. Let me see. Let's change the Wi-Fi. ISKCON Guest House. Which one is our ISKCON Guest House? The Wi-Fi here? Conference hall. 5G. Yeah, 5G. Okay. Let's see. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shanti Gopal Krishna Vaishnava Prabhupada Sahityam Prakashanti Pracharam Krivashara Vatpate Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschachadeshatarine Om Jnanati Mirandasya Gyanan Gyana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Hena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaisnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kipa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 4, text number 14. Everybody please repeat. Namam karmāṇi limpanti, name karma-phale spṛhā, iti mam yo bhijānāti, karmabhir na badhyate. Somebody else.
Namam karmāṇi limpanti, name karma-phale spṛhā, iti mam jo bhijānāti, karmabhir na badhyate.
Namam karmāṇi limpanti,
Namam karmāṇi limpanti,
name karma-phale spṛhā,
name karma-phale spṛhā,
imam yo abhijānāti,
iti mam jo bhijānāti,
karmabhiḥ na badhyate.
karmabhir na badhyate.
Namam karmāṇi limpanti,
Namam karmāṇi limpanti,
name karma-phale spṛhā,
name karma-phale spṛhā,
iti mam yo vijānāti,
iti mam jo bhijānāti,
karmabhir
karmabhir na badhyate.
Namam karmāṇi limpanti, name karma-phale spṛhā, iti mam yo bhijānāti. Word for word meaning na, never. Mam, me. Karmāṇi, all kinds of work. Limpanti, do affect. Na, nor. Me, my. Karma-phale, in fruitive action. Spṛhā, aspiration. Iti, does. Mam, me, or me.
It is me.
Me, my, mam, me. Okay. Yaha, one who. Abhijānāti, does know. Karmabhir, by the reaction of such work. Na, never. Saha, he. Badhyate, becomes entangled. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada K. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Everybody please repeat. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Let's see here. Let me get this, yes. Purport. As there are constitutional laws in the material world stating that the king can do no wrong, or that the king is not subject to the state laws, similarly the Lord, although He is the creator of this material world, is not affected by the activities of the material world. He creates and remains aloof from the creation, whereas the living entities are entangled in the fruitive results of material activities because of their propensity for lording it over material resources. So here, is given the difference between the Supreme Lord and the conditioned souls, like us. The Lord is not subject to the laws of material nature because He is the Creator. He is the one who created the law of nature, like karma. He is free from karma because He is in the Vishuddha Sattva. That means pure goodness. He's not entangled like the living entities who are roaming in the material world in different universes, or right now where we are. We go up and down. Depends on the actions that we perform, the material activities. And therefore, we are entangled by the laws of material nature. We are responsible for our actions. It's like when Krishna will steal, he's not being punished. At the same time, everyone is so happy that he is stealing because there's something to talk about. He would steal the garments of the young cowherd maidens, and that stealing makes the cowherd maidens become more and more attached to Lord Krishna. They will not curse him. Or he would steal the butter and yogurt of the neighboring houses, and they will complain to Mother Yasoda, the elderly gopis, so they have something to talk to. In the end, they will say, okay, no problem. He's your naughty boy. No need to punish him. But for us, if we steal a cucumber or a diamond, hira and kira. It's the same. Yeah? The police will get you. Or no, you just give them a little bit of bribe, then they will keep you safe. But nevertheless, this is the difference. Because the living entities, they want to lord it over the material energy. They want to be the proprietor. And that cannot be. Our eternal nature is that we're all servants of the Supreme Lord. The proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. That's not how it goes. If you have a dog and the dog bites somebody, you are responsible for the dog. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, in America, you'll be punished because you are not having the dog unleash. That means you should be always in control. And if you let him go and he bites someone, you're gonna get penalized. But again, Prabhupada says here, the proprietor of an establishment is not responsible for the right and wrong activities of the workers, but the workers are themselves responsible. The living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification, and these activities are not ordained by the Lord. So there is a law of nature. Again, if we perform activities which is against the law of nature, then we are culpable. We are responsible. Paramatma is there within everyone's heart and trying to tell us what's proper, what are the things that we should not do. But because we are very stubborn, we still wish to fulfill our desires, to enjoy the fruits of this material world. That means sense enjoyment. And therefore, we cannot blame anybody. We cannot blame the Supreme Lord for letting me perform actions which is against the law of nature or the law of man. No. We're being given some indications how to behave properly. That's why it is the responsibility of the living entities, especially in the human form of life, to follow what the scriptures says, the Shastra. Now, we may say, well, I don't believe that there is a certain law. You may be able to escape the law of man, but one cannot escape the law of nature. You may be able to hide, you may be able to say, oh, no one sees me. Yes, there are many who are seeing. Paramatma is one of them, day and night, the sun, the moon, the wind. They're the witnesses. Whose phone is this? This is the second one now. Second cake. If I hear another one, that's going to be the third cake. Okay? So, yes, if there are activities performed not ordained by the Lord, that means it is sinful. That means it should not be performed. But we have this free will, so that free will can be misused. And if we misuse that free will for our own benefit, for our own sense enjoyment, then we are culpable. Again, we are responsible. And no one is to be blamed except ourselves. It's like if something happens to us, it's like the other day we were going to Rukmini Vihar for the class, and somehow or other we are riding in our scooter, and there is another Brajabasi who's not looking where he's going. He's looking here, but he's going there. And somehow there was some collision. And so I hurt my right foot, and here also. Okay, it's a little bit there, still there. So immediately I will say, you fool, why did you hit us? But actually that person only became the instrument of my karma. He may not be looking, that's part of me to get the karma. So I could have reacted in such a way to punch him, to retaliate, but then I thought, no. Many people are watching us. It's not good for a person who's wearing saffron to punch a Brajabasi. But then I figured out later on, actually it is our fault. It is my fault. Ultimately, maybe from the past I did something, so he was not the cause of how I got hurt. It was me receiving the reaction of my past misdeeds. And luckily we're not going very fast. I could have had my leg be cut off. Yeah. So before we act, we have to think also if something happening to us or happens or happened in the past that we received something which is not desirable. Ultimately, the main cause is ourselves. We're just getting the result of our previous karma. That's how it goes. So the living entities are engaged in their respective activities of sense gratification. And these activities are not ordained by the Lord. So, yes, the workers, if they perform something right or something wrong, then the proprietor of that, let's say, factory, is not to be blamed. Or sometimes if something happens to a person drastically, then he will blame God. Why did you do this to me? You are the cause. If you're all good, why are you giving miseries and sufferings to good people? Oh yeah, there's a question. Why do bad things happens to good people? Or why do good things happen to bad people? Huh? It's like sometimes, this big Don, you call it Don, right? Mafia, syndicate. They live very luxuriously. They have so much money, so much wealth, so much women surrounding them, living in big villas. Oh, wow, he's a bad guy, and he's having all of this seemingly luxurious things. How is that? Maybe past karma, he's getting that, but at the same time he's making himself become intoxicated with his position. He is misusing his independence, and there you go. Next life, we don't know what's going to happen to him. So, for advancement of sense gratification, the living entities are engaged in the work of this world, and they aspire to heavenly happiness after death. This is their goal, to go to heaven. But heaven is still in the material world. There's still death there. Of course, there is no escort hospital there. There is no Apollo hospital there. There's no such thing as having cancer over there. But one day, when the karma, the result of good karma, will be finished, then he will die also. One has to come back again into this earthly planet, middle planetary system. Because in this earthly middle planetary system, this is the best vehicle to cross over the ocean of material sufferings. There are more dualities here. The Lord, being full in himself, has no attraction for so-called heavenly happiness. Krishna wants to go to Swargaloka? No, he's always in transcendental platform. Only those who wish to enjoy more, they want to go to the heavenly planets, where the sense of enjoyment is far greater than the earthly planets. But again, one has to come down. Once the punya, the pious credits that one is due to receive is over, then one has to come back again into this earthly planet. One cannot stay. Abrahma bhuvana loka punar avartino Arjuna. From the highest planetary system where Lord Brahma resides, and down to the lowest insignificant creature, an amoeba, a bacteria. There is death wherever one goes. And death means suffering. The heavenly demigods are only his engaged servants. The proprietor never desires the low-grade happiness such as the workers may desire. He is aloof from the material action and reactions. For example, The rains are not responsible for different types of vegetation that appear on the earth. Although without such rains, there is no possibility of vegetative growth. Yes. The rain will come even to dry places and to wet places. But the rain will be there if someone will till the land and plant the seed. Then the rain will help also to have that seed to grow. But the ultimate cause of the vegetation is the person who planted the seeds. Vedic smṛti confirms this fact as follows. Nimitta matrang evasau shijyanam sarga karmani pradhana karani bhuta yato vai srijya shaktaya. In the material creations, the Lord is the only supreme cause. The immediate cause is material nature, by which the cosmic manifestation is made visible. The created beings are of many varieties, such as the demigods, human beings, and lower animals, and all of them are subject to the reactions of their past good or bad activities. The Lord only gives them the proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the modes of nature, but He is never responsible for their past and present activities. Yes, Krishna is aloof. No one can bind Him. He doesn't aspire for any fruits of action. He is like a lotus flower being in the water. Being in the water, the lotus flower is not wet. It is waterproof. So the Lord may come from time to time to this material world, but then He's not becoming entangled. He is free from all of the miseries and sufferings of this world. So, but everyone, including the demigods, they're all affected. No one is exempted from dying. And when the Lord comes, and when He will wind up His pastimes, it seems to be that, oh yes, He's like us, the foolish, the fools and the rascals. Namam duskrityana mudha. Those rascals, Prabhupada will use the word rascals because they compare Lord Krishna to themselves. Oh yes, He took birth and also He passed away. And I'm also the same thing. I took birth from the womb of my mother and also I will die someday. So there's no difference between Lord Krishna and myself. No, that's not the way how it goes. For pastimes, He will do these things, but then they're all divine, as previously also mentioned here. What's that verse? Janma karma chame devyam evyam yo biti tatpata chakba deham punar janma na iti mam iti sa Arjuna. So all of His activities are divine. Superhuman. No one can be equal to or greater than Lord Krishna, for that matter. Or Krishna will appear in different incarnations, like different forms. It's like there are 8,400,000 species of life. So Krishna will appear also in different forms, as many as there are species of life. So one may say, oh, look, he became a lion. Oh, he became a fish. Oh, he became a tortoise. Oh, he became a snake. And I also became a snake before. Now I'm a human form of life. But who knows what we're going to be next life. But the Lord's forms, they are transcendental. Even as a hog, varaha. Usually we see the hogs here in Vrindavan. They're so filthy. But they're very fat because of enjoyment. The Lord Krishna? No. The Lord only gives them the proper facilities for such activities and the regulations of the modes of nature, but He is never responsible for their past and present activities. In the Vedanta Sutra, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 34, it is confirmed, Vaishamya negrinye na safikshatvat. The Lord is never partial to any living entity. The living entity is responsible for his own acts. So Krishna is equal to everyone. No one is his friend and no one is his enemy. He's equal in the sense that we are responsible for our actions. He's giving us the freedom to do what we wish to do, but then we are responsible for the reaction. He's present in everyone's heart and He's given everyone direction. He's giving everyone the facilities or ways how they can get out of this material world. But if one does not want to accept, or if one rejects that offerings of Lord Krishna, we cannot blame Krishna. One can say, why can't Krishna just force me to be good? He's all good, but at the same time, why is he? Oh no, it looks like I'm going to be the fourth cake here. Where is that? So many phone calls. It's okay. I think I should put this. There you go. Silent. So, yes, He's not partial, but He gives more attention to His devotees. He's equal to everyone, but still He favors His devotees. And that is not His deficiency. That's not His, you may say, shortcomings. No. It's like in school, you have a favorite. When we went to the school, the teacher has a favorite student, right? But he teaches everyone. Yeah? You ever heard of that? Favorite student? The Lord only gives him facilities through the agency of material nature, the external energy. Anyone who is fully conversant with all the intricacies of this law of karma or fruitive activities does not become affected by the results of his activities. So if we know this law of karma, then we're being careful of our actions. It's like we should think before we act, or we should think before we speak. Usually the tongue is faster than the thoughts. And therefore we commit mistakes or commit offenses. And once it comes out of your mouth, it's very difficult to take it back. Once we perform sinful activities or against the law of nature or against what the Shastra says, it's very difficult to get it corrected unless we don't repeat the same mistakes again. Because this is one of the defects of the conditioned souls, tendency to commit mistakes, or tendency to cheat. One may commit mistakes, yeah, that's part of it, but we should not repeat the same mistakes again. Because if we commit the same mistakes again and again, how can we be pardoned? First, second, third, Prabhupada is very lenient. If one commits mistakes, he gives them, he pardons them, he forgives them. But if one commits the same mistake like 4 times, like in the West, you know, or I think it's in cricket also, right? If you miss the ball 3 times, you're out. Prabhupada, no, 4 times. Huh? Yeah, that's, 4 times. But then you commit the same mistake 5th time. Oh, Krishna, how are you going to be forgiven? And especially, we should not lie. We should not cheat others. Cheating others means cheating ourselves. And if we lie, you can forgive a liar, but you may not trust him anymore. That's a different thing. One who lies to you, how can you trust him anymore? Because next time, even if he's saying the truth, you think that, he's still lying. So how can you trust? So never ever lie. That even planet Earth, we can put trash to her, put garbage everywhere. You can spit like people, they eat this gutka, right? They spit and poof. It's good. Modi fines them 500 rupees. You don't see them very often now, isn't it? Rarely you will see them. When you go to government offices, everywhere, like before, everywhere, spitting. But Mother Earth, she cannot bear. We drill an earth, we do many things towards Mother Earth. But lying, she cannot bear that. So, in other words, the person who understands this transcendental nature of the Lord is an experienced man in Krishna consciousness, and thus is never subjected to the laws of karma. One who does not know the transcendental nature of the Lord and who thinks that the activities of the Lord are aimed at fruitive activities, as are the activities of the ordinary living entities, certainly becomes entangled himself in fruitive reactions. But one who knows the supreme truth is a liberated soul fixed in Krishna consciousness. So this is our goal, to be fixed in Krishna consciousness, so that we may come to the platform being a liberated soul. Not to get entangled. It's easy to get entangled by having an excuse of performing activities that, when I become rich, then I'll become Krishna conscious. Let me take care of my finances first. But it is so bewildering. It is so entangling. You may hear devotees as, okay, let me become financially stable first. Then I can come for Mangalartik. Or I can chant my rounds. But when will that? There's no end. There's no end to that. But I heard one devotee recently, Maharaj, now I can chant more I can read more because now I'm not worried about finances. But still, that's not the case. It's not the case. I don't still see him for Mangalartik. He may come on Janmastami or Gaur Purnima or some special occasions, but no. So we must be very careful. Come to the platform that when we realize Lord Krishna's supremacy, that He is the cause of all causes and my duty is only to serve Him. Then I'll come to the liberated state, Brahma Buddha platform. Okay, I will stop here now. Is there any question or comments? Yes, just a second.
How can we by understanding this translation portion of Krishna, we can be not subjected to the laws of karma?
Yeah.
How can
Well, you have to act now. Once you understood the knowledge, the practical application is more important than theoretical knowledge. That's why there is what you call Gyan and Vigyan. But even by reading Bhagavad Gita and you're not fully surrendered to act the way Krishna instructed Arjuna to do everything for me, our hearts are getting purified. And someday we'll act upon that. It's not that you act immediately. That is a rare soul. To find someone like that, it's not so easy. We can hear. Yes, we're hearing the transcendental knowledge. Yeah? But better than this is that you apply the knowledge. Like nowadays we have Bhakti Sastri courses, yeah? Or Bhakti Vaibhav, or Bhakti Vedanta. But if one's heart is not becoming purified and still the quality of one's action doesn't match from what you've heard, then no, it is not. You're not going to make any advancement. I just realized that service is good. Let's say a devotee who's performing service, very, very enthusiastic, but then his relationship with other devotees is not good. He's criticizing or he's finding faults, but he's doing a lot of service. So, which one is more important? The service that he's doing or the quality of personality he is? Quality is more important. Relationship is more important. Yeah? You may be sweeping the floor, but then your heart is like, oh, you respect everyone. You give respect to everybody. Yeah? What about, let's say you are you've been in a movement for a long time and then, hey, how come you don't offer obeisances to me? You don't know who am I? Is he really like an advanced devotee? No. So, for me, relationship and the quality of your action, the thoughts, is more important than what you're doing.
So it means, Maharaj, until we actually apply these things and we advance in Krishna consciousness, we are still subjected to the laws of karma.
Yeah. See, once you're in the platform where you understood the knowledge and you apply the knowledge, then no more karma. You're afraid of committing activities that will bind you and you come back again. We should act in such a way that no one will criticize us. Even to act without others criticizing us is very difficult. Just be who we are and act in such a way that we follow the Guru's order. Yeah? If somehow they become offended from, or they're thinking that what we're doing is wrong, and you're doing the right thing, that is their problem now. That is their problem. Usually the more you make progress in Krishna consciousness, others will pull you down. Because they're neophytes. They don't want to see others becoming advanced. They want everyone to be like them. And they think, oh, they're a scholar. Well, an example we can give is Keshav Kashmiri. Yeah? He's a very erudite scholar. He can compose within a second the worship of Ganga, glorifying Ganga. Yeah? But then Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, okay, you've done nicely, but there's some defect. He's pointing out to correct him. How could that be? He's just a mere boy. And then he had dream at night. Saraswati, yes? Saraswati corrected him. Then he became humble. So the application is more important than the knowledge that we read. We read, we get purified. But we get more purified when we apply the knowledge. That is the best way how soon we will go back home, back to Godhead. Yeah?
The word use understand means like apply.
Yeah, understand. If you understand something, you follow, you do, you act upon it. Reading is good, but if you don't act, you are not understanding. That's what it means. Yeah? When we say we read Prabhupada's books, that means we should study and apply Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, we can be just like a scholar in a university. But then when they go home, they do all of these nonsense things. Then, therefore, he did not understand the Bhagavad Gita. Yeah? Any more points? Yes, Prabhu? Speak louder and slow.
Krishna says his mind is moon, the reservoir of all changes.
Yeah. Krishna is the moon.
Krishna says his mind is moon.
His mind is moon.
The reservoir of all changes.
The?
Reservoir of all changes.
Yeah.
This I could not reach to.
Krishna is everything. He sees everything. It's like when there's a change of season or in the month, the moon, sometimes it's full moon and sometimes it's Amavasya, dark night. So, Krishna is everything, and he is, these are compared to this. When we see the moon actually affects our mind. When there is a full moon, there's a lot of cuckoos coming out. That means crazy people. It becomes like alive. Yeah? So Krishna sees everyone. Because the moon, as I mentioned earlier, the moon and the sun, they're also witness. But the moon of Krishna, you repeat it again? Which verse is this? Which verse you read?
This is 2.1.34.
2 point?
This is 2.1.34. Just now.
Oh, this is Srimad Bhagavad. Oh, in the purport.
Yeah.
Yeah. The living entity, the Lord is never partial to living entity. The living entity is responsible to his own act. Where is that moon there? What? I didn't read any moon here. Did you hear moon here? No. Did you hear the moon? Narendra Krishna Prabhu, did you read the moon in the purport? I don't think this is in the purport. Huh?
It was displayed on the.
Why don't you go back? I think that's Srimad Bhagavatam, isn't it?
Yeah, this one. No, please go.
It says Vedanta Sutra.
It's in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Where it says, O best amongst the Kurus,
Yeah, yes.
the clouds which carry water are the hairs on his head, the terminations of days and nights are his dress, and the supreme cause of material creation is his intelligence. His mind is the moon, the reservoir of all changes. Which one is this?
That one.
2:134.
Yes.
Okay, so this is like, what is the chapter says? What's the title of this chapter? They didn't say here. Chapter, Canto 2, Chapter 1. What is the title?
34.
I know, what is the title of this chapter? Second Canto, Chapter 1. So this is Biratrup. This is Biratrup for the neophytes to understand, because they cannot understand immediately the transcendental form of the Supreme Lord. So they worship the Supreme Lord in his universal form. What does it say in the purport? Read the purport. There's no purport? There's no purport? So we don't want to speculate.
2.1.5.
I know, but here, Prabhupada, he did not mention what is the meaning of this. He just says the Lord is never partial to living entity. Right? My dear sir, are you hearing me?
Yes, Maharaj. It's clearly said that Krishna says his mind is the moon of fire.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if we're going to talk about the moon, again, the moon changes the mood of the mind. And that's why I said, when there's a full moon, then those who are crazy, they become wild. It affects our mind. It's cooling.
Even oceans will rise.
Yeah, rise up. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. There is no purport. We cannot speculate.
No, I understand.
Okay.
I understand.
Okay, sir. Anything else? Any other question? Did we learn something from this verse today? I'll repeat it again. There is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled in the fruitive reactions of work. Yes. This is the difference between Lord Krishna and us. And if we can understand this, then we will act accordingly, according to his instructions and also from the scriptures. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki. Tayo Shitanat Premanandi Hari.